Welcome to part 2. Yesterday, it was all about leading to Egypt and leading to this sacred journey. Today is all about what I received and experienced while in this spectacular, highly activating place. And of course, let me say and reiterate that the codes that I received and yes, it's like the codes that I received, what I received in general, I know will be something that unfolds and sinks into my conscious awareness and integrates for literal years to come, if not decades to come. And so I do not aim to share everything that I got in there, because here's the truth. When we go to a sacred place, as grid workers, there is so much that happens that at a multi-dimensional level that there is absolute no way that you could that your conscious mind could really fathom and grasp everything that is truly happening. For it is not just one version of yourself that is present, receiving, activating, doing great work. It's so many of our versions. And so, however, and yet, going on this theme and angle of sharing from a human place, sharing from a storytelling place, there are a few things that I'm so happy to share with you, and I'm so excited. And by the way, thank you to all of those of you who have tuned into part 1. I can tell you today's not gonna be as long. Also, there was some noise, and so this is why I came up a little bit later than expected, but I'm so happy to be here. When I knew that this trip was indeed gonna happen, I started just getting more and more that this was indeed a sacred journey. Of course, parts of me already knew and had this intuition, but it was more like the reverence for this trip started to sink in more and more and more. And so, leading up to the departure, I was extremely conscious of activating the golden timelines, activating the golden energy within my field, and expanding my golden heart, and expanding also the golden atoms and the golden light bodies that had been activated, as I shared yesterday, even more to a whole new level with when I work and received from Marina, which is the cosmic channel I mentioned, that does golden cosmic womb activations. And so besides doing this, I want to share this piece with you also that relates to grid work. And it is that Earth and different places of Earth exist in different timelines, dimensions, and realms simultaneously. And so when you are going to visit a sacred site, one of the ways of making sure that you land in the highest configuration and you tap into even higher timelines available for you is to request, drop in, and request to your soul mission family, soul mission teams to prepare the pathways and open up the portals that on the earth grids and on the land grids to open up the portals and open up. So let me recap. It's just lost my mind of track because I got distracted. Open up the portals. Open up portals in general, in the air grades and in the land grades, to prepare your arrival, to make sure that as you step foot into the place you are visiting, you actually land in the highest configuration. And so through this trip, I was extremely conscious, like this, you do it on the airplane. Like it's the first place, even as you are leaving, taking off, leaving, departing from whatever you are. But it's something that I highly recommend you do in the air as you are about to drop into this place and to land on this place. Hi, Fofo. It's so good to see you. And so I was very conscious through the like before getting there and every single day on asking my soul mission team to open up the portals and set the field for me to experience the highest timelines that were available. And this is important also because, again, like these are big portals. These are big energetic convergence points on Earth where you also had multiple different timelines and experiences. So if you want to unlock access to higher realm timelines, there needs to be some intentionality and of course requesting, asking, and setting the intention to connect with the golden grids, highest ascension crystalline grids that are available and already active, and that changes the whole thing. So there you go, a little piece for you. Hello, beautiful, so good to see you. And so while in Egypt, well, I mean, I must say, like as a very human being, you like as a person, when I was in the cab, well, I wasn't driving, but I was in the cab with Mike, going from Cairo to Giza, where we spent 5 nights. The first time, it was like, it's this moment where you look on the side and then it's like, I saw the pyramids. It was like, I almost killed him basically because I was like, and it like, just completely surprised and making like almost like a silent scream, and he's like, what is happening? And I'm like, babe, it's the pyramids, look. It's freaking incredible to see them for the first time from afar. And as we made it to the hotel, in the hotel you actually have a view to the pyramids. So that is outstanding, extraordinary. And what I want to say about this specific point in Giza where the pyramids are located is that is also a point of convergence for so many timelines and realities that have existed in multiple configurations, dimensions in humanity. And so before our golden civilizations that we know, when Atlanteans used to be in these places, while golden civilizations, so many, it's like it keeps it's a point where multiple realities are meeting. And so there were many days when, like, because I experienced something similar, like a little bit of dizziness when I was, for example, in the Netherlands. As I went from Madrid to the Netherlands, there is like the different in altitude, and so I could feel at times like this dizziness, but we were like many days in, and it was still like this feeling of like a wind, almost like a wind that like you feel. And I'm gonna say that it was like a cosmic wind because there's no other explanation. And basically, it's, as I was speaking to some of my friends who are also amazing channels, it's like, yes, it's like there's so much happening energetically in this place that it takes a minute for your body to adjust. So that was like so present in this place. And then as the first day, I actually went to the pyramids and see them up close. It was something else. I want to say that I have a very beautiful, and I can feel very strongly the connection with stones. But these stones that the pyramids are made of are just like something else. As I was approaching the pyramids and I had them up close and just like looking at them, it was almost like they were not solid rocks. It was just witnessing keepers of records and just like witnessing the pyramids from the outside, being outside of them and looking at them and looking at these stones. It was incredibly activating, even more than being inside, at least that first time, because I visited twice. The first time with everyone else, just like a regular tourist. The second time, hi Christy, so good to see you here, my gorgeous one. The second one, I actually went into the pyramids with Christy and so many other of my friends on a private tour. So like that was epic. And so there was a lot of this, it's just like so much receiving. And I visited, while in Egypt, the pyramids or the Giza Plateau, where all of these things are. I want to say, before I keep moving, continuing, that one of them, it's like I knew, this is something I told you on video on, that it's like, it's not a coincidence and it's not every day that you go with such a massive group, 17 freaking people who all have awareness of past lives, who all channel in one way or another, who are all incredible channels, oracles, trance channels, grid workers, to one of these places. And then, sure enough, it was on the like 17 or the 18, like it was pretty much a day after we went to the pyramids on this private immersion, private tour, where we got to be at the king's chamber, at the queen's chamber, and then down in the subterranean chamber, that these scientifics make the announcement and the press conference about these structures that they had just found underneath the middle size or medium pyramid, which are like 8 columns of 680 meters. I really don't know how much that is in miles, with what seems to be like spirals made out of metal, which it's believed that is copper, and with other structures underneath. And basically that shatters everything that all of these Egyptologists and all of these mind people are trying to tell us about the pyramid, or built by slaves and all that baloney. And so like it was so freaking crazy to be there at the same time that these findings are coming out. Especially because so many of my most advanced channeled friends were having like so many memories and recallings of the Atlantean times and the Atlantean lifetimes, building the pyramids or around the pyramids and everything. So that was just like really special. And also being able to be at the lowest level, so closer to these actual structures. Like this is just like, you know, it's just like wow, right? Like we all were like wow. And while at these places, the main places where I visited were the Giza Plateau, where the pyramids are, and also Saqqara, which is like freaking awesome. Let me tell you, like, this is a huge archaeological site. Again, with so many chambers where this is a shout out to my amazing, beautiful friend and mentor, Sandrine, who, while in Saqqara, she was in one of these temples, and it's like these long halls with these chambers on the side, and they, like, the official story is like they were bulls' tombs. And then at the very end, there was some, like, she's there, and she's like, no effing way, like, these were not no bulls' tombs. These were actual chambers where members from other galactic star races used to use to teletransport and come to Earth. And then at the very end of that specific structure, there is this super different hieroglyphics, and there were these different hieroglyphics, and she's like, and that, like, that's Atlantean right there. That's Atlantean hieroglyphics and writings, like language right there. So it was like so cool, like, to hear these people having these experiences, and hear friends and clients like having these beautiful experiences, and then like just being there and receiving so much. One of the days also that when I went to Saqqara, I visited with my beautiful friend, mentor, Gabi Kowalski, another incredible channel. If you don't know her name, she goes by Polina, Polina, over Soul Light. And she is just like next level also. So shout out to her. She is 24/7 connected to star races, councils, and galactic councils. And while we were in Saqqara in this specific structure, it's like it's Gabi, Ryan, her partner, my partner Mike, Carissa, a friend, and Paulina. And Paulina just goes, I just received something. Everyone just grabs like one side. There was like this ginormous squared structure underneath, like this, like so down below on Earth, and we're all just to take one side, tune into our own light language, tone, just tune into our hearts and serve as vessels, as she's now to anchor, like through her channel. Like this is literally what she does, and one of the biggest reasons why she's on Earth. She is anchoring the, let me recall. It's a specific type of flame technology. So like I'm gonna recall it later because I just miss like this word. But so we are let me see if I can remember. Yeah, it's gonna come later if it's meant to come, and I can add it in the description later. But it's like this beautiful flame technology. And so we are doing this, and then just like so many of these moments, right? It was extraordinary. And then the other places that I visited were the temples of Isis, the temple of Hathor, and the temple of Karnak, which is where Sekhmet, and the statue of Sekhmet is literally not just a statue, it's just like a freaking activating technology in the form of a statue. But I went through so many of these different temples, and what I wanted to share about that is like I feel it's kind of like also a big thing of what I can share at this moment in time. It's just like having, well, I told you at the beginning of the live how it was important for me to just be really conscious of connecting to the golden grids, crystalline grids, and ask my soul family to open up and set the portals for me to always be in the highest configuration, highest realm reality available for me. And indeed, like in so many of these places, it was an experience of all of a sudden I'm alone in a temple. I can just lay my back in the walls or lean with my forehead in these walls, which again, they're so alive, so full of information, and just being like boom, 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 feeling sometimes like a pressure, feeling sometimes like the wall is literally absorbing me and then electrocuting my body, and just receiving so much. And as I said at the beginning, I know that a lot of what I received is not conscious yet. Some things will never be because of how multidimensional grid work truly is. And some will integrate even more in the years to come. But one thing, a couple of things that I do want to share, because they are going to relate. They're going to, I'm going to bring them back tomorrow when it's all about after Egypt. It was so many soul technologies, like quantum light technologies, and these were given mostly by Isis in co-creation with Hathor, but mostly from beautiful Isis. Technologies of communication, of being able to connect my heart and my throat, my womb and my throat, my heart and it's like the technology is pretty much like triangles, light triangles that form spirals because they are like spinning really fast and forming like just like expanding the connection. So for example, one was from the heart through the throat and then the third eye. Another one it was more like my mouth, and then another one connecting heart and throat and the crown chakra, but pretty much like installing also like this. It was like a flower of life technology, lotus technology, to open up even more like this part. And I can feel such a huge difference, but that's for tomorrow. From receiving this technology, and they are all for communication. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna open up like how that's related to a prayer I have held in my heart for years, literally now. And another huge thing that happened there, of course, like obviously there is another technology. This is a quantum technology that I received from one of my mentors at some point, that she received in Egypt, funny enough. And so on this one, I have multiple light technologies in my hands and in the sole of my feet. And basically what they do, it's like I have crystalline source light crystals and also golden crystals in the palms of my hands. And so this is so amazing and helpful, and also in the sole of my feet, is that when I go to places and I connect consciously in my channel, I can lay my hands on stuff and code even more of my light. But light technologies, like they don't just work in one way, unidirectional. You can also code into your light. And so while being at the temples, one of the things that download was to use this technology, which is pretty much like, it can work on your hands, or it can also work in the air, because it's not in the air, it's actually you're like writing codes, light codes in tablets technologies, scrolls technologies, and you keep them in your energy field. But in this case, what I was doing was I was very conscious of, and a lot of my language also happens through my hands, of being able to use this light technology of writing codes and coding codes in the palms of my hands, right, like with a little bit of sound and mostly like the movement. And so a lot of those codes are also in my hands. So like so beautiful, because then as I touch my body, as I touch my throat, as I touch my womb, like there's so much there. And of course, as I touch people, or as I touch beautiful things in nature. And so that was a practical technology that I used to also bring some of these codes in the hands technology and bring them back. And the last thing that I can share at this moment that I received while in Egypt, and one of the reasons I'm so freaking grateful, because this is just like freaking next level, that has changed everything, like everything for me. It's I told you on day one how I received the activation of the subterranean golden waters of my womb, and also how all of my structure was resetted by the golden waters of my womb and the golden waters of God, Source. They reset it and rewrote my atoms and my full blueprint, my full atoms, molecules into golden ones. And this was an activation I received by this incredible cosmic channel that I tagged on video 1, called Marina Joe Global is her handle on Instagram. If you want the next level of golden womb activation, she's your girl. While I was in Egypt, I received a second session with Marina. And this was in person and involved physical work. And it was an activation of the yoni. And it was an installation. Marina is, what I can say about her channel is that she is an interplanetary ambassador and channel. A lot of the work that she's doing in humanity, it's not only being done in planet Earth, but it's through the network of interconnections and the conscious co-creation with other alternate versions of her in other planets. It's interplanetary and on different universes and multiverses. And so she did. She installed a crystalline womb technology that it's not from planet Earth in my beautiful womb. And I'm not gonna go into details on how that happened. Again, it was a mix of light language, physical work. She's working in your yoni. She's working in your womb. Actually, I just went through the details. And that was huge. That was huge because that happened in Giza, and then I was supposed to go to visiting all of these temples. And in the end, I was able to visit all the temples I wanted to, which was like, oh my God, like some of them I was not supposed to because of politics, and just like being there is crazy. I can tell you that there are crazy things happening, but I was not in that realm. I was in the realm of all the possibilities opened up for me, and I ended up visiting all the temples I desired. And that session happened before going to the temples. One of the things that happened during that session is that she has you tune into the amount of light and just like seeing your yoni from within and your womb from within, but especially the part of the yoni. And then at the end, you do it again. And it was literally like having a galactic portal all around the yoni with so many stars, so many crystalline, but the best way for me to describe this, it's cosmic light, symbols, light language, geometries, around my cave, and seeing it from within, and just being able to really notice the womb space as a cosmic temple where I wasn't alone. Also, this was really effing epic, because as I have been tuning into my cave and this cosmic temple that I can immediately like perceive, it's like the shape of the yoni, and then it's like the temple is behind, and it's so dark and at the same time so cosmic. It's not just me, the one that's there as a priestess in the middle of this temple. I can like vividly see and perceive Isis, Hathor, and Sekhmet right there with me. And so this in itself is something I'm so looking forward to keep co-creating with, because every day since that happened, I've been able to tune into that, into this temple, into this configuration of who I am within this temple, and it's been extraordinary. But I can tell you that so many of the structural frequency architecture that I am able to build for my mission and help my clients initiate happen in co-creation with the physical womb or energetic womb, because this is also available to men or women with no womb, and in co-creation with the cosmic womb. Cosmic womb is the actual place where you create so much of the architecture, light architecture, and structural frequency architecture. And so like now having this level of awareness of and this huge upgrade of this crystalline womb technology in my field, it's just like, I'm just like, this is effing epic, and I look forward to create even more abundance, even more of the highest realities and timelines, which I'm already tapping into those. I can tell you that. I can freaking tell you that. But I look forward to keep playing with this and creating more realities from within this space. Other than this, the last highlight I want to share with you was being able to visit the original location of Isis temple in Aswan, and just like placing my feet in the water while being in the original stones where the temple was built by this angelic, amazing being, ascended master, more accurate. And just receiving so many codes. And the one surprise that I was not like expecting was to receive so much from Hathor's temple, which that I was not supposed to visit. It was not gonna happen. And then I'm not gonna go into the full story, but long story short, I ended up being an Egyptian driver's girlfriend, having a paper by the government saying that I'm his girlfriend and I'm not a tourist, and somehow I end up in Hathor's temple at the end of the day where it's pretty much empty. Some dude wanted to not let me in with my boyfriend, with my Egyptian boyfriend, and because he just wanted money, but real money, not just like 400 Egyptian pounds, which are like $8. No, he wanted like thousands of Egyptian pounds, like a few hundreds of dollars. But my driver, was so like stubborn, so adamant. No, she's my girlfriend. Like, you're letting her in, and blah blah blah. And all the time when this exchange was happening, all I was thinking was, with my I'm a regular tourist, like clueless tourist with face. All I was thinking was, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, come and fix this. Archangel Michael, open up the doors, because Archangel Michael, it's my body. He is my absolute friend, and he has been the one that so many times has been there, moving people's hearts when I need them, when I need that the most, and just creating timelines of synchronicities and miracles. So like when I was just like calling on my friend, and then I ended up making it into the temples, just went like everywhere, and that was like what I expected to receive a lot from Isis. I expected to create a connection with Segment, but I was not expecting what I experienced in the temples of Hathor. And so, shout out to Hathor and that amazing experience. And I co-create with this amazing being. But it's like, I am just so freaking looking forward to keep unpacking her gifts. But it was just like the electricity, the transportation. It's like I could just feel like so much pouring on my field. And so happy. I'm so happy. And so my beautiful ones, let me just tune in real quick and see. Yeah, okay. The last thing I want to say, and this is a big one, is while in Egypt, and of course, like, I am a soul mission brand light architect. This is what I do. Like, this is my jam. A brand is not a freaking brand. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy you're here, my angel. Yay, sending you a big, huge heart. Oh my goodness, look at them. And that's what I do. That's my jam. And I can tell you this. A mission brand is not a mission brand. It's definitely not just a brand. It's your temple of abundance. It's just like going, when you go to Egypt, and there are like chambers, hieroglyphics, light language. It's just an infrastructure for you to create and stabilize a timeline in humanity. And one of the things I realized while being there is just like, what I desire to create, and what I experienced there while being with other soul sisters and students and mentors, where there was no freaking effing like spiritual ego baloney, and it was just horizontal, beautiful, a heart filled of expansion, people having fun, sisterhood, being able to have a good laugh with your people, not like, any weirdness and all of that. It's like I realized this is what I'm here to create. My highest measure of abundance within my soul brand. It's not the money frequency and the money energy and the physical money, even though money is such a huge part of it, but it's the amount of love and authenticity, and just like the capacity for everyone just to be in themselves. That is what I'm creating. I'm creating a movement, and I'm creating mission brands where people can truly feel like, oh my God, like, it's so beautiful. It's so lighthearted. We can have a freaking good laugh. We can talk inappropriate things. Like, that's the level of spirituality. The level of spirituality I want my people to breathe out as oxygen is the one I experienced in Egypt, being with my people, which is all about just being your authentic self, unapologetically, and people not needing to make sense of your weird, or of your absurd or anything like that. And so it's just like pure freedom and epicness and badassery, and so much of those codes were like present, and I was just like, yes, this is the signature frequency of my temple. Like, as I keep growing, as I keep expanding, as I keep creating more amazing things for women in the Spanish community, for my soul mission tribe in English, this is it. This is the vibe. Period. This is what you come and experience with me and in this, inside of this tribe. And so like that also is beautiful and important to mention. Tomorrow it's gonna be about the after Egypt. Oh my goodness, and I can just feel it right here, which these points are so connected with the upper heart. Oh my goodness. So tomorrow is going to be about that. If you missed episode 1, was all about the synchronicities and the crazy things and initiations before going to Egypt. Today was all while in Egypt from my human point, and the storytelling. And I so look forward to see you tomorrow. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And once again, if you receive from these transmissions, let me know in the comments, let me know in my inbox. I'm so happy to connect with you. Sending you so much love, and see you tomorrow.